A very good morning to you guys. Welcome to Asake Online. This is Fix My City. My name is Brighton, Ncube. Over the past few weeks, we've been talking to different councillors, talking to different residents across Bulawayo, and particularly talking about the issue of water and issue of service delivery. This show seeks to look at those issues, service delivery issues, issue of water, issue of refuse collection, and so on. And joining me this morning is Councillor Mpumelelo Moyo, coming from 126 Mganwini, to understand different challenges that face people from Mganwini. There's also this finance committee chairperson. It's going to understand more around issues of money, budget for Bulawayo. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Brighton.
Let's reflect 1 year into office. How has been the journey like as a councillor for 126?
Thank you very much. Yeah, you are right. It's been 1 year since you've been elected into office. The office has come with learning curves. It has come with some good experiences, and it comes with some challenges. And we are endeavoring each and every day to make sure that we attend to those challenges. It's a fact the city is faced with the water crisis, and the dams, as you have been following recently, we decommissioned 2 dams. Lower Ncube has been also been decommissioned. So now we don't have water as a city, and the water shedding has been increased from 120 hours to 130 hours. So those are some of the challenges that every day we will wake up and make sure that we try to address them. We are yesterday having a workshop where some team of South African guys came to council chambers to try and understand our situation with a view of profiling those solutions. We are always engaging stakeholders, engaging private players who are coming to understand our situation. But yeah, I'm sure in the next coming few weeks, months, we will have a solution, a permanent solution for that matter, for the city of Bulawayo, because we won't be saying Bulawayo is a perennial water challenge while we are there as office barriers and not addressing some of these issues.
As following the full council meeting for the past week, right, the issue of 120 hours to 130 hours, right, what's the rationale? I saw the debate. People are saying we do not have water in Bulawayo. Why are we saying 130 hours now? Just tell people that do not have water. What's the rationale of telling people, say now I move from 120 hours to 130 hours? Based on what? Because there's no water in Bulawayo.
Basically, it's the engineer's recommendation that assuming all things working properly, now the water that can be delivered on our taps can only come for 130 hours for any given city. But at times it comes with challenges, power challenges, that we cannot even then be able to adhere to the timetable, or maybe at times some of the vandalism or pipe base. So that's when then we deviate from that timetable. But that's the ideal position that ceteris paribus, all things being constant, will be able to provide water for the city of Bulawayo in their suburbs, in their areas, for 130 hours continuously at any given week.
Coming from your ward, 126, right, how are people coping in your ward? The issue of water crisis, are there any bowls, are there any water kiosks? How are people coping? How are people surviving in your ward?
The challenge is there, and it's now dire, and the situation is getting worse, and it's something that causes me sleepless nights. I don't sleep because I'm saying I've been elected, and if I'm not assisting in providing solutions for the city, it doesn't even go down well with me, even with my belief that I'm supposed to assist people. Yeah, the queues everywhere in polls. People are not attending to material events or things of magnitude that they are supposed to be attending to. They are now concentrating on fetching water. And the school kids, last time we had the Minister of Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Ncube. She said why will our purpose rate is so low is that even the kids spend time fetching water, while it's in other areas. If it's exam time, we know now it's exam time, they are already preparing for their exams. But here our kids in this region cannot afford to do so while there is no water at home. It means that they first have to go and fetch water. It's the reading time that they are eating into. So obviously we won't expect them to be competitive enough when it comes to examinations. And we are saying Bulawayo's GDP is low. Yes, it's a fact. It's some of the reasons why our GDP in Bulawayo is so low. We spend more time fetching water instead of being productive. Yes, the economy is not performing well, but even wherever people are hustling, they share that time with the time for fetching water. So we'll never compete with the other cities as long as we don't solve the water challenges. I'm glad the mayor, Senator David Coltart, also understand this, and it's one of his priorities. And as his lieutenants, we are supporting his vision to make sure that we solve this water crisis situation once and for all for the city of Bulawayo.
I'm sure in the first 1 year you've been doing feedback meetings for your ward, right? People have been coming and attending there to attend the feedback meeting. What are people saying there? What are the issues that people are raising there in those feedback meetings?
Okay, also linked to water challenges. Now there is severe sewer base, because if you don't have water, it means our pipes and the sewer lines, they form sledges. So it means that the sewer base are now more intense, more severe, and occurring more often than usual because of water crisis. People always give those feedbacks that can you attend to these sewer challenges, and now it's taking even much longer to attend to them because the challenge will be that the base are occurring all over the city and the frequency have increased because of those sledges that I've alluded to. So it means even our staff teams who are attending to sewer, they are now overwhelmed. Maybe normally maybe if they were doing maybe a certain area, attending to the complete area, so if area of Nkanini for maybe within 3 days, it means even if they have to come even for a month just to attend to sewer basin in Nkanini, but they also have got other areas that they need to attend to. So yes, admittedly, now the sewer challenges are giving us headaches because of the shortage of water.
Maybe if you can look at also maybe the boundaries, maybe your ward, what does stretch from where to where? Emganwini qasela ngaphi ward yakho iphelele ngaphi ward yakho?
Basically, after delimitation, I think Mkanwini is one of the wards that remained intact, except for an area called Emasocheni. It's the only area that was affected, but not it's in entirely. But some of the people remained in Ward 26 and some were moved to Ward 25. But those boundaries are just for voting purposes. The people of Mkanwini will always seek their services in Mkanwini, not in Ward 25 or 24. So it basically that it means that their services they are still getting from Mkanwini because it's their area of residence. They go to shops in Mkanwini, the kids attend to schools in Mkanwini, they go to clinics in Mkanwini. Yes.
You sit in the finance committee as the chairperson of the committee. I know one of the key issues that drives Bulawayo is the issue of finances, funds and resources and so on. How are people coming from Mkanwini faring out in terms of payment of their rentals? I know it's a community way of Dala and so on. How are they faring out in terms of their payment for my bills every month? Are they paying on a SCAT? Are they even paying their bills?
People are trying their best. The economy is not performing well. People are not working. The shortage of water is exacerbating the situation, as I've alluded earlier on, that they spend more time instead of maybe selling their ways than they be fetching water. So it's not the only people from Kanwin who are struggling to make payments timeously, but as a city, we are facing late payments. But I would like to say we have improved drastically because now our collection is hovering around 65% per month. Last year there was a time when it was 30 something percent, 40 something percent. But now we are trying to engage residents to let them aware that at times for these services delivery to carry on even in these difficult times, they still need to pay the bills. For instance, we are doing well in refuse collection. I can tell you in most suburbs, refuse collection is collected timeously. And if we have got a challenge, we communicate, and the date that has been maybe postponed to, refuse is collected. And now we're talking about sewer base. Those sewer base, if we are then we say we are not paying as residents, it means that they will continue and they will worsen. So paying on timeously, it makes sure that it lessens those sewer base when they are then attended to. Because for our teams to attend to a sewer base, they need fuel. Then there are also family people. They need to get salaries. Then you also have got some aging infrastructure. At times, we need to even to replace those infrastructure. We need the residents to be paying timeously. Residents are trying their best. You are 65%. I'm happy, but I can always say there is room for improvement. I'm encouraging them to pay timeously their bills.
If I can take you back to the time circulars, Nabang, I think it was a time where the council used to generate their money, their revenue through other means, right? Bitama power through other means that council had properties for, right? Now, as the finance chairperson, what can you say is the means of what council generating money? Is it only based on rentals of my residents, or there are other means that bring revenue to the council?
Yeah, rightfully, you are correct. There are other avenues like you have alluded to our beer halls. But like if you look, maybe we just like Nokia, at some point in time, the manager, the CEO of Nokia said, we don't know where we went wrong. We thought we were right all the time. I think maybe as council over time, maybe we did not invest in research. We're supposed to then move to, because opaque beer, the uptake has gone down, while it's clear beer and other beers, now people have got more appetite for those compared to opaque beer. So it's where we lost the game, admittedly, but I still believe now we're in the right trajectory where we are then advocating for research and development department to make sure that then we correct those mistakes from the past. It wasn't an event, it was a process, so now we lost it out, admittedly, but still it can be corrected. We are putting more effort into research and development, and the conversation, I feel they are right now, because everyone admits that we have done wrong as a council even in the previous decades, but something should be done. We can't then fold our hands and say, we can't afford. Because even today I'm a councillor, even after 5 years, if I'm not a councillor or any government, I should then have contributed policies that will benefit me as an ordinary person outside council. So it's the things that now we are set with such a mindset that we want to do right even for our kids. So there are things that as council we are advocating for. For instance, now we are saying Bulawayo is known for its discipline, and the financial institutions are eager to support Bulawayo. We are also exploring now what we call municipality bonds, so that as a city we can then refurbish the infrastructure. Our infrastructure, admittedly, maybe it's taken decades. it has been used for decades and we haven't refurbished it. Then we inherit it. Here we are as the new councillors. So we shouldn't just complain, but we need to, Nasty says, think outside the box. I always use a term that you need to have a disruptive mindset to make sure that we don't do the norm, but do outside the norm or the tradition, so that we move the seat forward for the benefit of ourselves today, for the benefit of ourselves tomorrow outside council, for the benefit of our children and the benefit of our children, which is our grandchildren.
Still on service delivery issues, how is the state of roads in your ward? State of roads, we spoke about the issue of sewer and also the issue of tower lights. How is the lighting and the state of roads in your ward?
Yeah, the roads are bad. Now, that's why I was talking about even having the municipality bonds, where then we'll then try to attend to the dilapidated infrastructure. Our infrastructure everywhere you go in Bulawayo is in a sorry state. So that's when we need now to work together with the residents and try to join with them, and maybe through the research that I'm saying they are being done, the advices even that you have got from other players outside the city of Bulawayo, we need to tell them the honest truth, the honest conversation. And I'm glad it's actually some of the residents who are even telling us, proposing to us what to do. Because if we are sharing with the residents genuinely, the residents can feel where people are telling the truth. We don't collect any money as city council for road use. Zinara does collect the money. So we are just having an infrastructure which then we don't have money to attend to it. So if it carries on like that, it means the infrastructure is just aging and getting dilapidated, and no funds are available for us to fix those roads or that infrastructure. So if you tell each other the truth and the residents know about it, then they proffer solutions. Like now, even if before even our budget has been passed, there is a proposed budget where the residents came and said, no, can we then, the things are difficult, but can we then contribute something towards the maintenance of the roads? And they proposed $1 and $10 for non-domestic use, which are the businesses and other entities monthly, so that fund is then ring-fenced and the money is taken to make sure that our dilapidating roads are fixed. That's the solution, the panacea to our problems that has been suggested by the residents. So we are taking the residents seriously at the core of our service delivery. They are the residents. They are the ones who are the users of the service delivery. They are the ones that are the payers of the service delivery. They are the ones with the ideas on things that won't burden them, but on things that will then come and assist us. We are just there as councillors representing them, not our interest, but their ideas, making sure that we have an oversight role even with the city council management to make sure that the ideas of the residents are taken seriously and implemented.
If you speak to us more about the issue of the dollar thing that we spoke about, you say the residents proposed to have $1. Is it per household, per month? How is it going to be paid? And the proposed issue coming from residents there.
Okay, it's $1 per household. So it means that on the rates that I'm paying as well as a resident of Bulawayo, there is $1 that has been added. That $1 is going to have a separate account that will go to water. Then the other $1 is going to have a separate account that will go to roads. Because like admittedly we said, our infrastructure is aging and dilapidating. So if then we ring-fence that money, we can then be able to go into capital projects such as maybe removing all old pipes and replacing them with the new pipes, even for sewer as well. So it's actually water and sanitation that we are reinvesting that $1 for every household every month. Yes, but for now, like I said, it's a proposed budget. The budget will then go to the ministry for approval and adoption. So it's something that is going to come, say, in the following year if it's successful.
Yeah. Then from a finance perspective, also, Councillor, the issue of the water crisis in Bulawayo, I know there's a glass block dam being proposed, there's Gwaishangani being proposed as well. And then there's the issue of new pipes, new boreholes being done as well. The issue of the 15 billion, I think, coming from the treasurer, they gave you, I think, 1 billion, I think, and then so now 14 billion remaining, right? So it was more how much is needed for Bulawayo to have a short-term measure for issue of the water crisis. For us to solve, maybe to have balls or to have whatever, how much is needed now to solve the issue of water crisis in Bulawayo from a finance perspective?
Now, what I can say is that maybe the immediate solution will be for us to make sure that we equip our aquifers at Nyamandlov so that we increase to 17 megaliters per day that we'll get from the aquifers. But the approach to water panacea for the city, it should be not maybe seen in one aspect. It should be multifaceted, because now we are facing global warming. I can say maybe assuming that at some point in time, even our boreholes, they dry up, we should be able, like we're alluding to, that maybe even glass block dam is not enough. It can be one of the dams that we need to be constructing. Long back, there was a system that was set where after every 10 years, there was a new dam that was built for the city of Bulawayo. That's why we have got 6 dams. Those dams were not built at once. It was after 10 years, because you'll be saying the population is growing. Like now, if you look, maybe we are saying Car Park is the biggest depopulated area in Bulawayo. Lombek, it wasn't there. Mkanwini, now if you go in Mkanwini, across the road, there is massive construction that is happening there for the new stands. So at the same time, the population is growing, but we are faced with a water crisis situation now. But if you are expanding the population, it means you are even exacerbating the problem or the challenge. So we need all sorts of solutions. We need every suggestion. There was a talk of drilling another aquifer in or fountain, but unfortunately I heard that the studies say the water is contaminated. It's believed that I think water from the Red Sea is the one that comes underground. The proposed drilling was about 1 kilometer, but that unfortunately the studies say that water is contaminated because there's coal there as well. So we need a plethora of suggestions of solutions. But now maybe also, like we have saying, the other issue that you have, the challenge is that you don't have the finances. But maybe it's also good for the government to allow council to engage even private players. Like we're alluding to, that class program is a private player. So if we open up, because at the end of the day, if we have got water for Bulawayo, we'll reach a point where we are saying we don't mind the cost, but we wish we had water. My example would be, for instance, in Zimbabwe, we had a challenge for fuel. People were queuing for fuel. Our fuel was cheap. It was being sold, I think it was born not before before Zig. It was born not. RTGS. The fuel was not there, but we're just saying we have got cheap fuel. But now, then the government said, no, the fuel should be sold in US dollar. The fuel is expensive, admittedly, in US dollar compared to RTGS. But now, if you happen to have that US dollar, you can fuel your car and move on with your life. I think now we are reaching a situation in Bulawayo where we are saying we are no longer concerned about the price. Not that the price should be abnormal, no. But instead of saying, maybe, for instance, now we are saying you are getting water at 35 cents. But maybe then we say we don't mind even if we get it, say, at 40 cents or 50 cents. But as long we are able to go to our taps and open our taps and get water, that difference, maybe 10 cents difference or 15 cents difference, we can then make sure that because now we are productive, we are not spending time fetching water, we can then go and work and try to compensate it. Maybe it won't even be much of a difference. Maybe our bills may increase even by $3. But instead of protecting the status quo, we are saying, can we have water that is 35 cents? We want to pay, maybe, for instance, in Canyon, we want to pay $29 instead of $33 per month on our rates. But we don't have water. To me now, and some objective people that I've met, they are saying, can you have a solution? We don't care about the price. But of course, I've said the price should not be abnormal, but provide us with water. And I think it makes a lot of sense. Now we are saying maybe the things that we are foregoing now, we are saying the pass rate is low, the GDP is low because of water issues. And maybe at some point in time, there was a report that say companies moved to Harare because it did not have water. Maybe those companies did not mind the small increment that maybe could have came about if the water was provided maybe by a private player. But if they had water to produce, maybe by now they will be still here in Bulawayo.
You recently toured the dams that supply water. I remember councillors were touring some of the dams that are supplying water. They paint a picture to us, how the state of the dams there. Some are saying there are mining activities happening there at the river banks and so on. Maybe paint a picture to us, maybe to our viewers at home as well. How is the state of our dams in Bulawayo so far?
It's not looking good. I have to be honest. The reports have already been sent even to the resident groups through our corporate manager, Nessie Sambofo. The dams are empty. Like I've said, 2 dams have been decommissioned. Mzingwane was at 4%, it was decommissioned. Lower Ncube, I think it was at 3%, it has been decommissioned. Well, our challenge is we don't have raw water. And now, like we are saying, even if the rains are to come today, the other challenge that we have now faced, there are illegal mining activities that are happening at the banks of our rivers. So it means that then our catchment areas now, they become limited because assuming maybe there is a tunnel that is going underneath a big one, it means that the water that is supposed to flow into our dams will first have to fill that tunnel that has been created by illegal mining activities around our banks. So I'd like to implore the government to assist us as the city of Bulawayo to make sure that they remove those illegal miners from their illegal activities, because they are protecting actually the city of Bulawayo. Those are the places like I know, for instance, in Chiatswa, the government is interested there. It makes sure that it fenced out the illegal mining activities and it put the law enforcement officers. I would like to implore the government to do a similar thing, as the rivers are of national interest for the people of Bulawayo, for the people of Zimbabwe. So these illegal mining activities should not be allowed near our river banks. And admittedly, as the city of Bulawayo, we have failed to enforce that on our own. That's why we are asking the government to then come in and assist us. Like I'm saying, even if the rainy times, we might have good rains, but it will first fill those mining tunnels before it gets to our rivers.
Lastly, Councillor, on the issue of the proposed budget, you recently presented the budget to the council and the council chambers. They speak to us about the key issues, briefly, the key issues that you touch on the budget, proposed 2025 budget. What are the key issues that you're focusing there on?
Okay, thank you. Our budget for the city of Bulawayo, proposed budget for the city of Bulawayo for 2020 2025, our total budget is 309 million, of which the capital budget will be 82 million. Then the recurrent budget will be 227 million. Then the focus, this time we've said it should be water, because the priorities are given by the residents. The number 2 was sewer, number 3 was health. And also we have taken the gender issues seriously. And now we are offering a sanitary pads to our girl child to make sure that they don't feel neglected and they concentrate more on their studies rather than maybe on the situations they are coming from families or can't afford to buy for them the sanitary pads. It then disturbs them in their education. And we are also saying, even the junior councillors, we are saying, can we have 50% for the girl child as well? And our vocational trainings, some even in Mziligas have been engaged a Swedish company which have been assisting us to refurbish them, and we are putting the girl child at the center of those activities to make sure that the girl child is not left behind. We want them to have equal opportunities. So as the city of Bulawayo this time, we prioritized after our service delivery to make sure that we put gender issues and mainstreaming first. Yes.
Councillor, thanks so much for your time, for coming through to site this morning.
Thank you very much, Brighton. Thank you.
Well, we've been watching Fix My City. My name is Brighton Ncube, and my guest for this morning is Councillor Mpumelelo Moyo, coming from Mganini, that's Ward 26. They're speaking mostly about the issue of the finance budget for 2025, and also speaking about the finance committee, what they plan to do, and on the issue of the water crisis in Bulawayo. I know guys have gone for months without water, some have gone for weeks without water, but they're saying, they've challenged solutions to these issues that they're dealing with. Hope you guys enjoy the show, and please do follow site on all platforms. We're there on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, as well as Facebook. For myself, Brighton Ncube, it's bye for now.